Welcome back to Act on Mental Health, where we're learning acceptance and commitment therapy and how to improve life mindfully using ACT. Also, welcome back to our Act for Anger series. I'm Sean, and today we're going to be looking into some important ACT concepts that can help us to manage our anger more effectively. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and visit my website, seanhardy.com, for more resources and free downloadable content. We waste so much energy trying to cover up who we are, when beneath every attitude is the want to be loved, and beneath every anger is a wound to be healed, and beneath every sadness is a fear that there will not be enough time. In our previous episodes, we've worked on decreasing the influence of our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, and how to manage our anger through alternative strategies of acceptance and willingness. Today, we're going to explore the concept of self as context, which is crucial in helping us navigate life's challenges. So what is self as context? In everyday language, we often talk about the mind without recognizing its two distinct elements, the thinking self and the observing self. The thinking self generates thoughts, beliefs, memories, judgments, fantasies, and plans. It's constantly active, shaping how we perceive the world. The observing self, on the other hand, is the aspect of us that is aware of whatever we're thinking, feeling, sensing, or doing in any moment. It's the part of us that observes our thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. The observing self is the concept that we are not the contents of our experience. We are not our thoughts, feelings, sensations, or images. By accessing this psychological space, we can become conscious of our own unconscious. It's a place from which we can observe our experience without being caught up in it. So in our anger, there's probably a lot of thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations that show up. All of this is considered self as content. We also want to be aware of the self as context, or the observing self. Now, I don't know about you, we don't get angry over non-important things, trivial things, although sometimes fights do start over trivial things. What's at stake is our values, what's important to us. So as we consider the concept of self as context, it's also important to reflect on the role of values in guiding our actions and decisions. Values give our lives direction, meaning, and purpose. By aligning our actions with our values, we can move away from emotional-driven behavior and focus on what truly matters. Values help us to prioritize our energy and efforts toward things that are meaningful and fulfilling. They give us a sense of purpose and help us make decisions that align with our true selves. Values in acceptance and commitment therapy are defined in a unique way that emphasizes their role as a constant source of direction. So here's how ACT defines values. First, values are never ending. Values are like the directions on a compass. If you follow a compass heading east, you never actually arrive at a place called east. Similarly, you never achieve your values. They are a continuous guide. For example, if you value being a good parent, there's always more you can do. This understanding is helpful because the moment you take a step in the direction of your values, you are living according to them. When you misstep, you can immediately choose and change course. There's no all or nothing thinking as with goals. Goals are milestone in your value direction, but they serve the larger purpose of your values. Second, you get to pick your values. Your values are personal and not subject to right or wrong judgments. They are not dictated by others, and you can change them at any time. Values are like our taste in pizzas. Some people like ham and pineapple, and some people like pepperoni. Some people like supreme. Some people like cheese. When choosing your values, consider if they would still be important to you if no one else knew about them. Your values should be owned by you. Third, opportunities to live your values are everywhere. We can live our values in any situation, whether at work, at home, or in everyday activities. For instance, I can live my value of being helpful to others regardless of where I am or how I feel. Values can be expressed in happiness, frustration, or even exhaustion. By clarifying and choosing our values, we empower ourselves to live more authentically and meaningfully. Our values guide us through our life's challenges and keep us aligned with what truly matters. I want to invite you to connect with your values right where you are by engaging in this peak moments exercise with me. Now, this involves reflecting on significant memories that highlight what truly matters to us. It can guide us to living in a more value-driven life. Let's begin by looking back at different points in your life where you felt vital and connected to your values. A peak memory is a situation that stands out because it says something important about your identity. These moments are memorable because they reflect on what you care about deeply. Let's begin with childhood. I want you to think about your early life. Is there a particular moment that comes to mind because it says something about who you are today? Take a moment to reflect and then jot down a few bullet points or sentences about this memory. Why does it stand out to you? Now, I want you to consider your teenage years. Is there a memory that stands out because it highlights something that mattered to you then? Why was it so important to you? Why did you care? Next, let's look at your early 20s. Is there a time when you felt really good about yourself because you were doing something meaningful or learned something significant about yourself? Take a moment to write this down. Continue this exercise on your own for each part of your life. You can split it into 5 or 10-year segments. And remember, you're writing about moments that capture the essence of who you are or who you aspire to be. Once you've completed this exercise, look at each of these moments. Do you see any themes or commonalities? If you do, you may have identified a value that is important to you, something you can use to guide your actions and decisions. As we connect with our values, it's important to consider the role of forgiveness and freeing ourselves from the past and living a more peaceful life now. Forgiveness offers us the opportunity to let go of those old hurts and to do something more productive for ourselves today. Many people who struggle with anger problems are fighting old battles, hoping to alleviate the hurt that started them. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as changing one's judgments or evaluation, as if saying, I used to think that you were wrong, but now I've changed my mind. It can also be perceived as emotional avoidance, forgetting old angers and hurts, or excusing and denying the wrongdoing, trying to minimize the damage. However, forgiveness can be approached more positively. The word forgive, for example, suggests giving that which came before, repairing what was lost. In this sense, forgiveness is not earned, it's free. The Latin root gratis, meaning free, highlights that forgiveness is a gift. But a gift for whom? Forgiveness is not a gift to the wrongdoer. It's a gift to oneself. If we cannot give the grace that went before a wrongdoing, life's injustice becomes permanent through our actions, not the perpetrators. So consider the cost. What are the costs of holding on to a resentment? Does it ever bring the peace and satisfaction you're hoping for? Who does it ultimately hurt? You know, when we're hurt by another person's actions, it's like being caught on a fishing hook. We often try to get revenge by making them feel the same pain, by getting them on the hook. Unfortunately, this keeps us both on the hook. If we're invested in keeping the other person on the hook, we're 100% blocking our own way out. Forgiveness is letting go. Let the person off the hook so you can free yourself. It does not require changing how you feel or thinking about the situation. It's a choice to let go and move on with your life so that you can enjoy the peace and serenity that comes from healing from your anger. Now, if forgiveness were a choice that allowed you to move past old hurts, would you take it? Consider the freedom and peace that forgiveness can bring to your life. To help you on this journey, download the forgiveness log from my website. Use this tool to track your progress in letting go of resentment and embracing forgiveness. Thank you for joining me today as we looked at how to heal from anger. These concepts are powerful tools for managing anger and enhancing emotional well-being. Remember, this journey takes practice, and you're not alone. Visit my website, SeanHardy.com, for more resources, and stay tuned for our next episode as we look at taking charge of anger through committed action. Remember, your journey towards a more purposeful and mindful life begins with a single click.